over at Fox News, they are they have their priorities straight. They really do. They worry about the important things, and they worry about those important, the marginalized among us. That's what Fox News is always very concerned about. And who's very marginalized right now are statues. And we really need to take a moment of silence and just take a moment to recognize the importance of these statues. Here's a video clip I want to share with you. It's going to be hard to watch because your heart is going to go out to these statues, and you're going to be very concerned for these statues.
It was destroyed in 2 major cities overnight.
Here, hold on. Hold on. Let me start it from the beginning there. Get your tissues ready. Are you okay? Can you handle this? All right, here it comes.
Statues of Christopher Columbus destroyed in 2 major cities overnight. Protesters tearing down the monument and lighting it on fire before throwing it in a lake in Richmond, Virginia. About 1,000 protesters gathered to stand in solidarity with Native Americans. And in Boston, another Columbus statue was beheaded overnight. Police are searching for those responsible. Let's look at your headlines. I'll send it back to you.
Look at this guy.
Wow, unbelievable. When's that going to stop? Columbus now.
Did you see that? Here, let's. We don't have to listen to this garbage again, but look at this guy's. Look at his face. Like, look at this here.
Wow, unbelievable. When's that going to stop? Columbus now. Meanwhile,
that is a semi-reasonable actor playing a part there. That's exactly what that is. That guy. If you are on Fox News, most of your job, and by the way, this is the entire corporate media. Same goes for CNN, MSNBC. A lot of your job, arguably I would say most of it, most of your job is faking outrage over complete bullshit. That's most of your job, pretending to be outraged over complete and utter bullshit. That's what you're there for. When's it going to stop? Columbus now? When are we? That statue had a family. That statue worked hard and got its college degree from Harvard. That statue worked hard to put its kids through college. That statue had a birthday coming up. And they harmed that statue of Christopher Columbus. By the way, I like how he said, now Columbus? We've been talking about this for a long time, pal. That's been in the conversation a long time, where it's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't celebrate this genocidal maniac who got lost. This genocidal maniac who brutalized people, who sold children for sex. Christopher Columbus was like Jeff Bezos, Jeffrey Epstein, and John Bolton all rolled into one ball of sinister evil with a shitty sense of direction. That's what Christopher Columbus was. As an Italian American, it is humiliating that Columbus Day is still a thing. And by the way, it makes zero sense. I mean, people were like, well, it's a matter of pride for Italian Americans. That's complete. That would be the equivalent of us traveling into the future and find out some other country has a Donald Trump Day and says it's a matter of pride for American citizens. Like, no, most of us couldn't stand that guy. What are you talking about? Christopher Columbus was part of the ruling class during that time. That part of it was up in the north. They brutalized the rest of Italy. They made the rest of Italy deal with poverty, so they hated Columbus and his ilk. And that's why most of the cuisine that we have in the United States is cuisine from southern Italy and poor parts of Italy. It's the cuisine that poor people would eat. Why? Well, because those are the people who came over here. Poor people came. Your ancestors were probably from the South in most cases, and they were probably poor. Mine were. My ancestors come from the South because they were poor and they had no choice. I mean, let's be honest. Why would you leave Italy? It's a freaking paradise. Why would you leave that and come to Western Pennsylvania? Because your other option is starving and dying. That's why. That's why. So, it's so, yeah, you get it. We've talked about that a lot on this show. But think of the statues. They're concerned. Police are brutalizing protesters. A 22-year-old girl was murdered because of tear gas being used. She died. A 75-year-old man was going to hand a cop a helmet, and they cracked his skull. They shoved him and cracked his skull. Oh, and this all started because another unarmed black man was murdered in the streets by police. This time, other officers watched while he knelt on the guy's neck for 9 minutes, while the guy lost control of his bladder and was begging for his life. And medical professionals who walked by said, "Please stop. You're going to kill him." And they were shoved away by the other cops who were in on it, the other cops who were part of this murder. And over at Fox News, they're shedding some crocodile tears for a statue of a genocidal maniac, a genocidal murderous maniac, where some parts of the country, they have already named his day to Indigenous Peoples Day. And I can't wait until the rest of the country follows suit. That should have happened a long frickin' time ago, long overdue. And here you have these paid shills pretending to be upset over a statue. I don't give a shit about any Columbus statue. Destroying them is the most useful purpose they have ever served. When's it going to stop? When's this going to stop? No, they never look at police killing unarmed people, brutalizing black people, brutalizing citizens. They never look at that and go, when's that going to stop? They look at a Columbus statue and go, when's this going to stop? You couldn't pitch this as a series. Our current political situation, you could not pitch this as a series because they'd say, that's too unrealistic. They're sobbing over statues on the news while this is happening. There is arguably the most unrest that's ever been seen in American history at one time. And all that's happening amidst a pandemic. And they're shedding a tear over statues of a genocidal maniac. Come on. That's too much. When's it going to stop? Think of the statues. Think of the statues. The statue was a man of faith. So dumb.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your